Every day you invite us to your home. Now we invite you to our homepage. Join Channels TV on social media. Hang out with us on Google Plus/Channels Television. Follow us on Twitter.com/Channels TV_NG. Friend us on Facebook.com/Channels Forum. And don't forget to like our page. That's not all. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. YouTube.com/Channels Web to get constant video updates and news and events in Nigeria and around the world. ChannelsTV.com, the news at your fingertips.
Now we can have an overdose of the look on the fight against corruption. That will be our main focus today. But again, there's been this huge outcry on some persons in the National Assembly, and of course some have actually finally lost their seats, like Umar Farouk Lawan. But again, they came hard also on a particular resolution of the National Assembly concerning the removal of Oteh, the SEC-DG. Well, before we'll take a look at that, I'd like to welcome you, Chukwuma Ezeala, legal practitioner. Many thanks for joining us on Sunrise Daily this morning.
Thank you.
I'm quite sure you saw that making the news yesterday. Perhaps a look at this particular report will set the background into all of that.
Those against, please say nay.
It was bound to happen sooner than later. Federal lawmakers were not going to take lightly the letter from President Goodluck Jonathan, where he subtly criticized the National Assembly for not making appropriations to the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. Federal lawmakers in the House of Representatives brought up the issue in the motion, which noted what they say is the persistent, blatant disregard of the resolutions of the House by the executive. Moving the motion, Representative Garba Dati said the President has not implemented the resolution calling for the removal of the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Mr. Oteh.
The House observes that the motion urging the removal of Ms. Aruma Oteh, for instance, hinge on the fact that her appointment as Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission was a gross violation of the acts of the Commission Act as she does not possess the minimum professional qualification prescribed for appointment to that position.
REP's minority leader said the disregard of National Assembly resolutions was demonstrated in the letter from President Goodluck Jonathan to the National Assembly, where he tackled the National Assembly over its resolution on zero allocation to SEC during the consideration of the 2013 budget proposal.
I believe the advisors of Mr. President, particularly Attorney General, should draw his attention to Section 21 of the Fiscal Responsibility Act. Mr. Speaker, the President also stated that we as a House, the effect of what we did was to shut down the operations of SEC. Well, I say no, sir. What has shut down the operations of SEC today, Mr. President, is your refusal to obey the resolution of the House.
The House of Representatives insisted that President Goodluck Jonathan implement the resolution of the House by removing the Director General of SEC, Ms. Oteh. The House also directed the House Committee on Legislative Compliance to monitor and ensure that the resolution is implemented by the Executive. Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
Well, Chukwuma, Ezeala, what do you make out of that particular report?
You see, I think we've been overflogging this. Why I say so is, what is the mode of appointment of the Director General of SEC? And what is the mode of removal? Do you remove by the resolution of the House? Now, the appointment was made by the President, sent to the Senate for confirmation, not to the National Assembly. And removal can only be done through the Senate. So I think we should be a nation of laws. The House of Assembly or the House of Representatives, are they doing this as a pressure group? Or are they doing it by virtue of their statutory powers? The Constitution did not give them the powers to remove the SEC DG. And again, the SEC DG cannot be removed by mere resolution. Let me not use the word mere, by the resolution of either of the House, including the Senate, except you follow the due process. Now, part of their reasons is that she was not qualified to be appointed. The executive, in its wisdom, felt she was qualified before presenting her to the Senate. And the Senate, after looking at all the credentials, felt she was qualified. And they approved the appointment. Now, if you have fresh facts, which you think she didn't give, or if you think that the discretion of the Senate and that of the presidency or that of the EXCO could be faulted, what do? You go through the Senate again and have the necessary address to remove the SEC DG.
Who goes to the Senate? The House?
Any person, including you. The House can decide to go to the Senate and say, look, please, I think that your discretion in confirming the DG of the SEC was done in error. We have these facts. And the Senate will look at it. And if in their wisdom, they think that she was not qualified, they will do the necessary thing to present an address.
It looks like an indictment on the National Assembly in the first case, because now you just reminded us of the process, which truly every name goes through the National Assembly. Didn't they look at the requisite qualification of the same individual?
I think they looked at it, and in our view, she was qualified. What was she doing at the ADB, African Development Bank? As a matter of fact, what type of qualification do you need? Now, the law or the act setting up SEC did not specifically say you must have worked in the SEC or that you must have worked completely within the Nigerian system. It's a question of what is the requisite experience you have in capital market operations. So I think the Senate duly considered these before appointing her. So for the House of Rep now, and that is why the Senate cannot be part of it, because it would have seriously be an indictment on the Senate.
So the word cognate there, which means related kind of experience, counts in this...
oh, certainly, yes. Certainly it counts.
But you know, their response was actually to a letter written to them by the President, criticizing them for overreaching their powers by withholding allocations to SEC in the 2013 budget. Do you think they overreached their powers?
Yeah, certainly they did. Because